Hey guys, what's up? It's Alex or Nuznuz here, and today's video is going to be me trying some of the most unique PVM challenges in RuneScape 3. Now these won't be the hardest challenges like Golden Iceborne or anything like that, but they will be very interesting and some will actually be pretty difficult. Speaking of challenge, thanks to Ace Defender for sponsoring this video. Ace Defender is a high-quality SRPG that combines authentic turn-based RPG battles with tower defense elements. It has a traditional RPG storyline for solo players with 40 plus chapters and over 2,000 levels. The storyline is about a rebellion in the Dragon Clan that threatens the balance of good and evil in the world. There are 5 hero factions: Divine, Demon, Shadow, Nature, and Light, and there are 48 heroes with 2 new heroes released every 2 weeks. You can level up and combine your heroes and equip gear to create your own powerful lineups. You can even play with 1x, 2x, or even 4x gameplay speeds to slow down or speed up the action. There's a solo mode called Expedition and a PvE mode where you explore dungeons and level up your heroes, and of course there's PvP where you fight against other players within your server or across other servers with multiple lineups. New users who download Ace Defender from the link below will get 10 Royal Recruit tickets after completing levels 2 to 8. You can easily use your tickets by clicking the Sky City, going to the tavern, and going to the recruit 10 times. I play this game while I'm AFKing skills on RuneScape, and I really like all the different characters and the fact that you can slow down or speed up and watch your battle commence. Make sure to download Ace Defender below using my special link in the description or in the pinned comment. Thanks again for Ace Defender for sponsoring this video. Alright, so the first challenge is going to be an iconic one, and that is the Lumbridge Strikes Back achievement. Now this achievement requires the player to defeat all phases of Araxor and Araxi while wearing bronze armor in the head, torso, and leg slots, and also a bronze main hand weapon. And it can only be completed while in solo mode. So basically you'll be doing Araxor with a main hand, tier 5 weapon, and bronze armor. So this is going to be a very interesting one. So going in, this was my setup, and I did want to melee because of the fact that I don't have as much experience with melee and I don't have a good offhand, and I assumed I would really get destroyed on like phase 4 because I would have to be melee distance with bronze armor, so that doesn't sound like too good of a recipe. So I decided to go with ranged. I used full bronze armor and then a main hand bronze crossbow. Then I have my offhand Ascension, which luckily has chroming 4 for greater ricochet, and then basically the rest of my normal setup. It is minion path open this week with middle path, so that kind of sucks for us, but we're gonna try it anyway nonetheless. So basically I went in and started attacking Araxor, and let's just say that I hit so many zeros it was just unreal. I did have an accuracy aura, I had essence of finality, and in hindsight maybe I should have also tried with a Nihil, but I felt like I needed the food and I don't think much was going to be done to help my tier 5 main hand. The other problem was I couldn't bring my Seren Godbow and switch to it because that would be taking off my bronze main hand weapon, which would make me ineligible for the achievement, so I had to just go with the flow and work with what I had. I did actually end up having a saving grace during this, and I thought mid-kill to myself, hey, Ingenuity of the Human's ability guarantees your next ability to hit. So I decided to use that along with greater ricochet, snapshot, things like that to guarantee myself at least some damage during this. This was a really big slog of a fight, but finally after dealing with the minions, we finally got to phase 4. So I wasn't sure what I was going to do in this phase because I didn't want to be running around trying to deal damage with the core chasing me and hitting tons of zeros. So I decided that for this phase I would damage Araxor down as usual, which was a little bit annoying, but it wasn't too bad to get him down. And then eventually I decided I would go with the onslaught strategy once the core came out using devotion. So basically I would use devotion and then onslaught, and usually that would kill Araxor, but I knew it wouldn't with a tier 5 weapon. But this actually ended up working very well, and we almost did kill Rax just from the onslaught. I did have to run around a bit with the core chasing me to finish off Araxor, and I was scared that I was going to hit a million zeros in a row and eventually die, but I did end up killing Araxor, So first attempt with full bronze, tier 5 main hand, we got the kill. It was not pretty and it was super slow, but this was more of a test of endurance and patience rather than skill. But that's an achievement that I never thought I'd get. So next, when I was browsing through the achievements to look for some, I found some for Legios of all things that sounded pretty interesting. So we have the I Got This achievement, which requires a player to defeat each Legio without leaving the dungeon, which sounded pretty easy. You just can't go and bank during this. But then I saw the achievement Stand Your Ground, which requires a player to defeat each of the 6 Legios without moving during the entire kill. Now, if you don't know about Legios, they deal a ton of damage and you're usually running around most of the fight to avoid their attacks. But with this, I'd have to stand completely still the entire time. So I thought, why don't I try this achievement coupled with the other one? So basically, I would have to kill all 6 Legios without leaving the dungeon whilst never moving. I also only brought 1 key of each Legio, so I basically had 1 shot to do this. My strategy was pretty simple. I would get to full adrenaline on the creatures outside of the Legio room, and then I would go in, stand close to the Legio, attack them, and then I would use a threshold. And then I would use devotion once the first hit came, and then hopefully debo spec and hope they died. This actually ended up working like a charm, and one by one the Legios started falling. I also had a bit of a concern when I was doing this when I went to the Legio that spawns minions, because there's actually one minion that will make the Legio invincible until you kill it. And if that minion spawned, there would be no way that I could kill that, deal with all the other minions, all while standing still, so I would almost surely die. So I went in and luckily I ended up killing this Legio super fast without it ever getting a chance to spawn its minions. And finally, after traversing through the rest of the dungeon to get to the last Legio Primus, we ended up getting both of the achievements in one go, which was pretty nice, and I actually really enjoyed this challenge. It was kind of different, and the extra challenge of trying to do both challenges in one run was pretty fun as well. Alright, so for the last challenge, I was looking at the bosses and I looked at Raksha since I've done the log, and I saw one for defeating him without absorbing any of the shadow or gaining any enrage. This is called Ultra Instinct, and for some reason I thought I'd have this, but I guess I didn't. So usually Raksha doesn't gain much enrage at all when I kill him, basically like none, maybe a little bit, like, because usually if you leave one pool up here or there, I usually ignore it if I miss one pool and just leave it up because it doesn't really do much. So I was pretty sure that I could get this if I got the timing right. So the fight went as normal during the first 2 phases, as Raksha doesn't really siphon any of the shadow until you get to phase 3. So basically what I had to do with the transition into phase 3 is I had to bladed dive all the pools and make sure I bladed dive in the exact right spot so it kills all the pools and doesn't leave any stragglers. And it worked up until the last pool. There was one little straggler left, but luckily it was the last pool and I was able to kill it, and boom, Raksha had 0% enrage. Now I just had to kill Raksha without dying. So we went into phase 4 and things went pretty normally. We ended up killing Raksha and getting the Ultra Instinct achievement. All in all, a pretty easy but pretty cool achievement. So that's going to do it for today's video. Again, thank you to Ace Defender for sponsoring this video and allowing me to continue making videos full time for you all. Make sure to check them out below with the link in the description, and if you guys want more videos of me doing RuneScape challenges, let me know what you want me to go for below, and I'll see you all in the next video.